back to our happy fun times in Barovia.
Yay.
Let's see. We've got with us today the one silent 1-1 as Dragonborn Druid Mr. Tree, Miss Misery as the Honorable Fighter Segrid, Fembrius as the Inquisitive Bard Dantiir, and Bad Wolf as the Indebted Artificer Hannah. Let's see. Squid Kittens is on a travel journey at the moment, so we'll say that Toren is being moody and morose somewhere in a wagon.
Sounds
and just
right.
is not talking to anybody.
Yeah.
All right, so last time, Glovia Falinescu was tried for attempting harm on her neighbors in Orashnau village, and after testimony from the party, Segrid was tasked with carrying out her execution. But during a one-on-one chat with Toren revealed his nature as an ASMR and also gained some insight on a larger conspiracy involving Glovia, Alina the werewolf, Laszlo Vaduva, who used to be dead, and a bride of Strahd. And Glovia made a run for it, with everybody else close behind, nearly getting her, except, well, a pack of wolves, led by a great black wolf, interrupted that chase, allowing Glovia to escape in the direction of what we learned was Castle Ravenloft. Bright side was that Vistani wagons finally did arrive to trade with a rational village, just the essential food and supplies so they don't starve. Things. And after a night of tales and at least one magnificent dance, Madame Ava, still in town, read the fortunes of everyone here, hinting at items of great power and vengeance hidden in Barovia and maybe some other things. The party decided to ride with the Vistani as they were going to have a wedding in a few days and could use some protections on the roads. They're allowed free travel here, but, well, they were going to have to get down off the mountains, and that's never really easy. I want to say that, Dantiir, you wanted to use a downtime day to just hang out with Annika, learn a little bit more.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say that you're riding up with her on her wagon. She's got reins of a horse, and where are the rest of you? So there's 7 wagons plus one big wagon for Madame Ava that's kind of near the back. Where do you want to be?
Go ahead.
Sorry, I'd like to be keeping guard up front.
Okay, we'll have Segrid on the front wagon. You're going to be there with Elias Bogarov. He's the captain, and so it's him and his wife there in the lead wagon, though. Sorry, not his wife, his sister. His sister Sergena, and you'll be up front. So it'll be some good there. How about
That'd be an awkward mix-up.
How about for Hannah? Where is she situated?
She's gonna be like in the middle wagon,
Okie doke.
taking a nap.
That seems fair.
It's either that or pester. It's either that or pester Toren somehow.
I'm going to say that you are in the middle wagon with Toren, who is also trying to take a nap.
Awesome. Hannah
And-
snores.
Yeah. You're alternately waking each other up every so often.
Okay.
How about for Mr. Tree?
Think he'll be in the biggest one just for comfort. That's Madame Ava's, right?
Yep, Madame Ava's in the back. She's even got 2 horses
Oh,
pulling that
fancy.
wagon. Okay. Well, it's morning-ish. It's never really bright in Barovia, but you're setting out. The wagon speed is a little slow getting down out of the mountains, but I guess we'll start here with Dantiir and Annika. She's letting you know a little bit about Vistani. She says, we Vistani travel in these large family troops. We roam the countries in our beautiful wood wagons, and she'll slap it, with the round tops, called Vardos. We are world travelers, and so our talents are world class. We are silversmiths and haberdashers, cooks and weavers, musicians, storytellers, even horse traders.
That sounds fantastic. You travel worlds.
Oh, yes. my brother Donani and I have visited many worlds other than Barovia, and Georgios from those worlds are usually unsophisticated. Rarely have I seen any as talented as you were last night, Dantiir.
It took a lot of practice.
Are you of the bohms, the entertainers?
I like to think so. If I can, when I can.
We have much in
What's-
common.
What's the most fantastic place you've been?
There was a great and large city town. It was one of those utterance names, almost as if when you sneeze, but it was a little dirty and dingy. But there were men of clockwork walking down and forth the streets, something from a lost war. We didn't stay too long. We Bogorovs here are my family. We are of the Bohem task. There are 3 in the Vistani. The Bohem, we are entertainers. The Kaldresh, they do crafts. And the magical Manusa. We're more inclined to interact with you, Georgios, in the Bohem, and we interact with the other tasks whenever our paths cross. In this place, this sneeze place, they were not much on the entertainments, but we did manage to catch up with some Kaldresh. Oh, my brother. The Moslavatics are of the Kaldresh, and we met with them a few times in this sneeze place, and Donani took a few moments out with their young Leela. It just so happens that, well, sometimes a young Vistana and a young Vistani get together. Anyway, this is why we are having our wedding in a few days.
That is quite the tale. Would Dantiir be able to, like, are there any big cities that are sneeze sounding names that he would be able to put together?
I guess give me a... This could be a history check. Let's try that out.
That's not bad. That is going to be a 19.
Now, the sneeze-sounding cities, this could be anything from Harua, or even just the border towns that have, the border kingdoms that just have, they come up and down and they travel. But Clockwork Men is not something that you've heard a lot of. You've heard of it instead in Bardic lore, and there's kind of a sneeze city you've heard named Sharn.
Shar?
Sharn.
Sharn.
Yeah, so just Sharn.
Was the town Sharn?
That is the one. Bless you, but
How did you get there? We've been told that people cannot leave Barovia.
oh. We are under protection. Some entertainers, but I'm sure you have come across, have a wealthy patron who allows them use of his name and colors and to travel freely. For our troop and the Moslavatics, that is Count Strahd, great and powerful patron.
He seems to be. What do you know of him? Like, actually, not just the legends and myths. Have you ever met him?
He came once, not while we were in other lands. I believe he only stays here in Barovia. We met him as he applied blessings to one of our own. Strahd and the Vistani have had a good relationship for many years, centuries, maybe generations. When Count Strahd was doing his military campaigns, years before he even became a vampire, a group of Vistani rescued him after he was wounded, and these Vistani not only nursed him back to health, but delivered him safely home. As a reward for the generosity, all Vistani have the right to come and go from this land.
That's impressive.
This land, Barovia, was named after his father, King Barov. And look over there, and she'll point out Castle Ravenloft, where even this part in the morning, it still looks like thunderclouds over there, just perpetually so.
Is it always so dour?
Powerful he is, as the night. That is Ravenloft, after his beloved mother, Queen Ravenovia. It's a magical place, I have heard, but don't be attending without an invitation, I think.
I don't plan on it.
And she'll point out over in some of the trees that are, it's rather close by. They're overarching, and if there weren't already a dour set of clouds overhead, this would be darkening it further. Do you hear the bird song?
I'm gonna guess that I do.
Oh, there's absolutely zero bird song.
I no.
You will when Strahd has need of you to. He is the land here. He uses the wolves, the bats, other creatures to know what goes on in this realm. Stick to the road, my friend Giorgio, when you are here. There are things that haunt the Sphalic woods. Worst of all, Barovians.
People sometimes make the worst monsters.
Barovians, they are the simple, frightened people. It's the souls of those who die in Barovia. They can't escape, so they stay in Barovia.
Oh, that's lovely.
Oh yes, some Barovians have old souls, you could say, but many do not. Those soulless ones, they're easy to spot.
No souls.
Oh yeah, they know nothing but fear. They have no charm, no hope, no spark. Don't even
That sounds
cry.
terrible.
Well, Strahd still enjoys them all, some would say to an excess. He's taken many consorts. But
I can't imagine a life without joy.
Even he has his spots. They say he's known only one true love, a Barovian peasant girl named Tatiana.
I'm gonna guess that the past tense of the word there.
One love, as is many in this lifetime.
What happened to her?
She died in some way. There is no queen of Barovia.
If you did, it'd be sunnier.
Perhaps. There was one time of lightness, we think, but it was actually after a great fight, and Count Strahd was wounded, we think, but recovered.
Mm.
It was, as is told in the grandfather's tales. And then she'll point out a bird that's actually flying overhead. It's like, look, a raven. Now, we were talking of souls. Sometimes they say the ravens carry lost souls within them. So, killing one is bad luck, Dantiir. You watch yourself while you are here.
You don't have to worry about that one.
Mm-hmm. And at this, you've now traveled for a good 2 hours with the Vistani, making some good time. And you've now come to a kind of clearing where at least the trees are not so close overhead. And there's a little bit of mountainside. You're definitely within looming shadow of Castle Ravenloft. Closer to it now than you'd been in the mountains. And this is where they will start slowing down and kind of giving a park. And over at the front, where Segrid is, Elias is going to be shouting a woe to their horses and declaring that this is where they will be resting and setting up some items for their wedding to come. I think behind Annika and Dantiir. Annika will kind of knock rather loudly on their wagon and say it's like, it is time for all little brothers to be getting up and do wedding preparations. And so it's about like 10 in the morning. There's food to share, and without such incidents, you guys are kind of free to move about. Segrid, when you're kind of set apart, or at least when you've gone down, Donani Bogorov, he's young. He's like 17. He sees you kind of standing a little away from others, and very nonchalantly, he's going to go up and say, like, so, you are a woman?
Last I checked, yes.
Are you of the married woman?
No, I'm not.
Ah, this is good. So you know of the... you know of the admonishments one would have if one was in a arrangement for to be wedded, and there is the groom and the bride, and one is not supposed to see one, but and so he's mumbling on about something about he's not supposed to see his bride before the wedding, and that he's a little nervous about this whole thing, and he needs your opinion on something.
Okay, get to the point. What do you need?
What kind of gift would be best for ensuring promises of love from one's betrothed? Loyalty and fidelity and...
I don't know much about that myself, but my father gave my mother a, a, a magnificent hand axe and a chest of beautiful fabrics and furs and some golden beads for her hair. I don't know what your people's customs are. That's pretty standard with mine.
Beautiful and also of use. Beautiful and... well...
Can't go wrong with a good weapon. But that's me.
And he'll say, hold. And he will go back into where his wagon was, kind of near the front, where Annika is now yelling at him to get preparations on the go. And she's showing Dantiir, I think, a fancy hat that she has as one of their dress-ups that they're going to prepare for the wedding. And Segrid, when he comes back out, he is holding a small package. It's almost like arm length, but it's wrapped in kind of a velvet cloth. And then when he gets to you, he will untie it. And on the inside is a metal tanged fan. Like if you splayed it open, there would be the inside of paper cuts. And there is a painted scene of a forest and birds overhead of it. And the metal tangs here in this fan, they do look like they have sharp points at the top. And you know what? It just emits a very pleasant floral scent as he opens it up. And with a waft of it, there's actually a warm wind that is certainly refreshing after coming down off the mountains here. Do you think this might be of an appropriate gift of fidelity?
She takes it gently from him and looks over and touches the blades a little bit.
They are a little sharp.
This this would do a very fine woman. Someone who's probably not terribly skilled with combat, but great self-defense item. I think would be very actually.
So if one was maybe fending off
It would be very
unin...
good.
Yes. Oh my god, that's perfect.
Let me just pick up my fan here.
Yeah. Just like that. So that even if the woman was not as familiar with weapons in the martial way, they would be able to fight off any unwanted advances, yes?
Exactly, yes. It's. I think that would be a very fine gift.
He looks very happy with this, that he will finally come clean. He is to wed Leela Moslavarik, and their camp is not but 2 to 3 miles south of where you all are now. It's part of the traditions that they follow, that the two families cannot camp together until after the wedding ceremony has happened, and that's going to happen in about 2 days. And Dunani has heard rumors that a Mortu, a handsome young man named Hansi, has been following the Muslavatics as they've been traveling into Barovia from lands beyond, and is attempting to woo his fiancée. And so he's trying to, he would like to give this gift to Leela as a reminder of their love, and also as a weapon, so that if Hansi gets too handsy, this is puts a stop to that. And
I'm a fan of this.
except he cannot go to the camp. It's part of the traditions. It's a thing. But it says but you are a woman of the world. You can come and go as you please, and you can even go through the woods, probably without dying. I would give you the extent of my worldly wealth if you would deliver this to my dear Leela. And he has that ready as well. It's it's a very small sack. It's about 35 gold. Which is all he has in this world.
I suggest keeping that for your wife. Buy her something pretty when next time you're in the town. But I'll bring it for you. That's no problem.
He's going to be very very apologetic. It's no, I think you should. But he's with all of his blustering, he has absolutely already pocketed his gold back into his pocket.
Yeah.
And he'll give you directions for due south, actually, where the Moslavarics are. Where Mr. Tree has been with Madame Ava. She's handled some of the ride, but Mr. Tree, how are you with animals, with horses as a druid?
Great.
So her 2 horses there, they have, just kind of different names than you would have expected since you came in here to Barovia, but they are Buttercup and Maxine. Maxine.
These are great names.
And they've really taken a liking to you as you've been riding with Madame Ava, and they kind of give you a nuzzle as you've gotten down off that wagon. And Madame Ava says that you are pleasant company. You kind of keep to yourself, and she says, you care a lot, do you not, darling?
I try to.
And I have seen you have sacrificed much as well. And she's pointing up now to Mr. Tree's broken horn.
It's not uncommon for someone to have sacrificed something. So I take it in stride.
And what have you gained in return for this sacrifice?
I don't know yet. I'm hoping that I'll figure it out.
You will, my darling. You will. It may come sooner than the sun sets here. But if it does not, that's still a good direction to look. And then she'll go to the back of her wagon and she'll kind of set things up for an early lunch or that. She seems to be taking it mostly by herself, though some of the other Vistana are coming over to help her with asking what she might need, fresh water or the like. Hannah, in your wagon, your Vardo there with Toren, Toren is almost inconsolable. If this was somebody who had let all of their secrets out into the world all of a sudden and just kind of avoiding questions, avoiding eyesight with you, just shining up his silvered holy symbol, muttering under it's like, it used to be pure gold symbol and now it's silver. And what's this thing doing?
Best brother ever.
Well, you're super boring, and she'll hop out of the wagon.
Nice.
There are wagons behind us too, right?
Yeah, so 8 in total. Mr. Tree was on the last one. You were in one of the middle ones. Segrid was near the front. And you can see Segrid has been talking as you get out with Danani. Danani hands her a package, and then he's yelled at by Annika that she's supposed to be helping her take down some stuff. And Annika also kind of like waves away Dantiir. That now they're supposed to be setting up.
All right, so we're stopped.
Mm-hmm.
I guess Hannah will try and see if she can help set up any of the tents, because they kind of intrigue her with their construction.
Oh, nice. These ones are actually pretty nice travel tents. They kind of set up on the side of some of the wagons for the larger ones. And the travel tents otherwise can set up their own like stand to it. And so they have about 8 tents that they're setting up. Madame Ava's is, again, just this super large, like family-sized tent for this one woman. But yeah, you know what? She looks like she's in her 70s. It's like when you're one pillow, that's bachelor life. When you're 2 pillows, you finally know what's good in the world. 3 pillows is ultimate comfort, right? You can rearrange this anywhere. Madame Ava has like 10 pillows. Yeah, 20 pillows. Just
The whole tent is a pillow.
the entire tent. It's like, come on, Grandma.
She is me.
Nice. They appreciate the help there, Hannah. And when you are not paying a specific attention, they're going to say, it's like, you know what? We have too much load on these wagons. We need to unload some of these things. And very quickly, they'll kind of palm and toss over to Hannah something small and quick, and it comes to your face.
To try and catch it.
Whap.
Nice. What's your dex?
13.
Nice. Give me a nice roll on that.
Okay. Just a dex, like a straight dex roll.
Straight dex.
2.
All right.
And that one.
You were struck right in the face with a
Beautiful.
little black pearl. And it does fall into your hands once you've gotten it, but
Not a complete failure.
there's only a slight laugh from everyone who saw it happen. But then they quickly pretend to be coughing. You do good work. All right. Let's. So you get a little black pearl from them.
Cool. Does it just look like a normal pearl except black? Like,
Does for now, yeah.
Partnership.
I guess she's just going to wander around sort of listening to talks of the wedding and see if maybe there's going to be a big party later because she likes things.
Oh yeah, there should be. It's supposed to be in 2 days. They're going to start cooking some of their special stews. There's a little bit of comments about the Moslavarics, how the Moslavarics are of the crafter tasks, so they are very good at making things and of just putting together some rather magnificent kind of tools and things, but they're supposed to be as boring as day-old oatmeal.
Awesome.
They're they're pretty sure that Denani is marrying Leela because, well, okay, they're boring, but they're pretty nice to look at. And Denani's maybe not the sharpest tool in the shed, but he's a great actor. And so, well, they said they're young. They'll have fun. It's fine.
Awesome.
Nice. And Dantiir, I think there was one other thing that you wanted to use your downtime for looking at, and that was
Yeah.
the little children's book of stories.
Yep.
And it'll be some Barovian fairy tales, and they are mostly words. Like there's pieces of verse that are in there that looks like somebody had taken out from another book and then kind of rebound in here with like paste. And some of the pages are stuck together. And so underneath these like four lines of verse.
Digitation them apart?
Oh, that's fine. Clue is gone. But it's a story of two brothers and that they loved each other very much. And then they found, they met a wonderful girl who was very friendly to both of them and loved them both very much. And they went on adventures. And then the brother slipped on a rock and fell and died. And the girl also slipped on a rock and fell and died. And the last brother was very sad. And that's why the sky is so dark, because it's crying.
Oh, no.
This is the greatest book ever.
Yeah. That's like, there's another story in there somewhere, but it's like the pages are mismatched, like the lyrics were taken from a different spot. But the drawings are all like wax crayon kind of thing.
So like, I would guess that like a child made this.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Or a very determined yet very unskilled adult.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna keep it because it's adorable. And then do I notice that Segrid has something potentially shiny, potentially wrapped up in something nice?
How are you handling that wind fan over there, Segrid?
I've got it. It's packaged up, so I've been holding it fairly securely. Like, it's a delivery. Therefore, I take it important. I take it seriously. So, holding it secure.
Nice. She's got something secure right over there.
I'd probably head over. What's that?
It's a gift for the bride of the other party.
You know what it is?
Yes.
What is it?
It's a pretty hand fan suitable for a woman to defend herself with.
Is there a lot of call for that? From what I've heard, the Vistani are pretty free.
I look around and I see who's close to me.
It's probably Denani and Annika have moved off. You can be on the other side of the wagons. You and Dantiir, pretty much.
Well, I'm going to the other camp to deliver this. Do you want to come with me and I'll tell you about it?
Totally.
Okay.
So I double check my sword, all that good stuff, make sure I have what I need.
Do we want to get the others?
Yeah, if they want to go, yeah, sure. I was going to go by myself, but no, you...
I mean, like, we don't have to.
Yeah, we should at least let your brother know where you're going so he doesn't chase you.
That's probably true.
Well, if you can see the others, we'll grab them as well.
I will let Toren know where I'm going so that my big brother does not worry about me. Or rather, so my big brother doesn't, like, notice that I'm gone and then think I've done something entirely stupid, just partially stupid.
Just partially.
Yep.
Okay.
And are the other members of our little ragtag group nearby?
Yeah, I'll go to Mr. Tree.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just petting a horse.
I need to go to the other Vistani camp. Do you want to come with me? Dantiir's going as well.
Sure, sounds good. Sounds good.
It'll be a nice walk in the woods. You like trees and things, right?
Yeah. Yep. That's a little. Yes. I'm not going to comment.
Mhm.
Presumptuous, but understandable.
You go by the name Mr. Tree. I thought you would like trees.
I
It's
look
kind of
like
be
a
nice.
tree.
Very well. And she kind of walks off a little ways and waits for everybody.
I'll find Hannah. We're going on an adventure. Want to come with?
Like a sub adventure from the adventure we're currently on?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
All right, cool. I figure that is the amount of persuasion necessary.
Sure.
Hey, Thing. Want to go see Thing?
Did you just call me a thing?
No, there's a thing. Do you
Dantier's
wanna go
already
see
in
Thing?
trouble. He hasn't even left Toren's.
Sounds about right.
She just yells at Dantiir. And just goes back to polishing. All right. So it's no trouble. There's a quite just a little stretch of forest in between you and the rest of where you're supposed to be going, and it's, well, these trees are just still towering, and the tops kind of get lost in mist that's come its way, blocking out all but this death gray light, and the tree trunks are only just kind of unnaturally close to each other, and
I've got my hand on my whip, keeping very close look at it.
Yeah, I've got one hand on my sword hilt, and I've got the other the package kind of. I haven't let go of it. It's kind of
Okay.
like I haven't even bothered putting it in a.
nice. Okay, then everybody, just as you're walking here, or you'll roll me a nice perception check while you're keeping good eyes out, heading in the direction that Denani told y'all to. So let's see. Hannah, what'd you get?
14.
14. Mr. Tree?
19.
Nice. Segrid?
11.
11. And Dantiir?
17.
17. Nice. Mr. Tree, in the... It's... You notice this because it's kind of strange, but there's a... Not exactly a bag, but it's like... there's a piece of wrapped leather that's been stuck into the hollow of one of these trees as you're passing. And you can see Segrid and Dantiir and Hannah are still walking pretty stalwartly, and they've got their eyes peeled for stuff. Sigrid's got a real tight grip on a package that she's delivering, but like in this nook of this tree, there is this wrapped up something in leather. It would be like one of those older kind of satchels that has a strap that you would tie around, and that's just kind of been like stuck into a tree.
That's pretty odd. I don't think he'll like sort of, flag anybody down, but he'll just sort of like go over to it and inspect it. I don't think he wants to pick it up though. Just.
Your inspection, I'd say that it's about the size of a breadbasket. It's like just this high. The width is about the same as like an average set of hips, just this wide. And it does look up like there's some cloth rolled up in this, so some layers of protection.
He'll take it.
It's fairly light. It's not more than like 2 pounds. All right. And let's see. So here. Okay. So within a little less than 2 hours, you're able to make it through these kind of thick sphalic woods, this thick pine forest, and it's now broken into this kind of large stony clearing in the lee of a very large hill to the west. And there's 5 barrel top wagons standing in a close ring here. And kind of unlike the gaudy and cheerful Bogorov wagons, these wagons are very dull. Like they're just straight up brown wood, and they are festooned with a lot of tools, just all types. You can see smithing tools on one, farmers' tools, bellows, and the campfire that they've built up within the ring of wagons is small, and there's about a score of very sullen-looking humans working at fixing wheels. They're shining shields or just making some other mundane crafts. And as you are approaching, a few of them have spotted you, and they are eyeing you kind of suspiciously with hands near either large tongs or I think somebody has a short swords nearby.
Has Segrid? How much has Segrid told us on the journey?
On the way, I would have told him about the conversation with Denai, about the questions he had asked me and what I told him, and basically I explained the fan.
And did you tell us about the dude who is
Following you? Yes.
okay? Okay.
I tell you, I don't have a description of what he looks like, but I would think he would stand out from this group.
And if he's a
I'm telling you this as I'm walking up to them, and I've got one hand raised as to hail everyone.
There's of nearest to the fire. There's the older folk there, and one of the older men kind of gives a nod to kind of a on the far side of middle age guy, and he's got kind of like some scars on his arms, maybe from heat or working, although he's otherwise kind of lean. And he comes over to you and kind of waves a hand to the ones who are have put hand to hilt, and he's kind of wiping his hands down from where he'd been working with some oils. I will answer your questions, not out of friendliness, but so that you might sooner depart my camp.
My name is Segrid. These are my friends. This is how you would greet someone bringing a gift, the bride from the groom?
And he'll look back at the center campfire, and there's an older woman who's over there, and the older man. They're kind of looking at each other, and the older woman kind of just gives a slaps the older man on the shoulder, and then she gets up, and kind of like bustles skirts. It's like, and you see the man in front of you who was looking very stern and very kind of rude, and now he's just kind of rolling his eyes. It's like, mother. But there comes this little old lady. So it's like, hello, dearie. Oh, you've come from the Bogorov camp, have you? Have they already made it this far? And it's like, Adnan, you go work with your horses and your things. This is for the wedding, dear. And Adnan will kind of sigh, but he seems a little relieved to not have to deal with anything with a wedding. Everything here does not look decorated in any kind of way. But this lovely young woman is lovely little woman is introducing herself as Teresa. She's Teresa Moslevarik. She is the Rowney of the Moslevariks here. She kind of takes care of spiritual matters for the family, like food and wages paid, and you can't have good spirits when you aren't having full of belly. What did you bring from the Bogorovs? Oh, we've heard so many things of the Bohms here. Is it a fancy dress? Is it enchanted jewels from far off lands?
Sigurd's kind of trying to remember the basic etiquette that her mother drilled into her head. And she gives her a slight bow and says, Madame Teresa, I bring a gift for the groom to the bride. It's a lovely piece, but I've been tasked to make sure she sees it and opens it. I humbly ask that you bring me to her.
Of course, my dear, of course. You look like a blushing bride almost yourself. Come this way. And she's going to lead you a little often. It's like, oh, your friends can come too. Oh, we have food cooking on the morning. You'll be able to see everything here. Oh, we're going to make some special brown cakes this morning. And it's...
Dantiir's not going with.
Good.
Don't like brown cake.
It's a special beans.
They're special.
I don't introduce anybody because I never thought of it.
That's fair. Where will Dantiir be hanging out?
Dantiir is going to go join the people around the fire.
Okay. We'll get to you in a sec then, because they're a little begrudgingly giving you some space here, but they've got some exotic things here, like biscuits and also coffee. That will never. If Mr. Tree is interested in that, they will grudgingly share because Teresa is, walking Segrid and Hannah and Mr. Tree over to one of the further wagons, and she kind of gives a little kick at Adnan there around the fire and says, like, share breakfast. Be kind to our guests. They are with the Bogorovs. And then she will otherwise take you three over to the last wagon there, and she kind of gives a nod and says, Leela dear, we have a gift from your Donani. And she knocks a little more firmly this time, as there's not been a response. It's like, she's a nervous girl, you see. It's the 2 days before the wedding. And Leela, and she's looking around, and it's like, the girl's covered up her windows. Nobody wants to see changing, but we're all family here. But, it's like, late. And she's starting now to look down at her waist, where there may be some keys that she's jangling. And as she's getting that out, the door to Leela's wagon opens.
It's Strahd.
But it's Strahd. No one has opened it. And it's like, girl, forgot to lock her door. And so she just gets stuck sometimes in these morning mists. And so Teresa kind of takes a step up onto the wagon side of the Vardo, and she gets in and it's like, Leela... And she kind of cuts off, and you see her like scramble inside very quickly.
I follow behind her.
Look good.
The inside of Leela's Vardo here is, well, you're the only ones here, and it's just a little gloomy here on the inside. It's crowded with like hanging herbs around here, some beaded curtains separating the front from the side that Teresa has like moved, but the windows have been covered with like these fancy scarves, very thick, very warm. But Leela's not here.
When was the last time you saw her?
She was here just last night.
Are there any signs of struggle?
Give me either investigation, you're going to start turning things over, or just another perception. And this can be from any of you three who are over there.
I'll do an investigation. I like investigating.
20.
Nice. Okay.
7 investigation. So apparently I don't like it that much.
Oh, sure. Okay. There is like a bed here, and anything from Mr. Tree?
I think he'd stay out of it, but would be like sort of circling the little, yeah, he'd be circling the grounds around it.
Okay, there's still snow out here. There's some stuff. What Segrid can notice is the there is a odor of garlic and other very strong smelling herbs here, but of those cloves and herbs that are hanging, none of them are those. Like there's no garlic here now, and there is kind of an earthy smell coming from nearby. It's kind of like that petrichor that when it just rains and there's the smell of it on dirt. And Hannah, you can't quite put your finger on it, but there's also like a too sweet smell, like of like maybe ripe fruit, maybe. But you're like turning things over and you're not finding anything here that's been partially eaten or left out. It's like when you walk in and you smell like something that makes your stomach turn a little bit. That's what you're getting. Like this would not be what's Hannah's room usually like when she was back at the dorms and things.
Like slight. It was not clean, but it wasn't like disgusting food stuff. It was all just like crumpled papers and other clutter.
Okay, so you see there's some organization to this, but you've been to some bad rooms back when you were studying, and this is not as bad as that, but it has the smell of it a little bit. It's weird. And something Segrid does find is a folded up note. And because you were doing perception, that is something that you spot there. Outside Mr. Tree, you have found prints in the snow are kind of easy to spot here because the snow's a lot lower, and there are definitely tracks coming into and away from this Vardo, and they kind of go out into the woods a little bit to the east. And there's at least 2 pairs here. You can kind of see them mucking about on this part and then going off that way.
He'll like sort of pop his head back into the Vardo and just like, potentially there's tracks.
Okay.
I read the note.
Oh, sure.
Don't even hide it. Just openly read it.
Teresa is very fretful at this point, especially when Mr. Tree's like, tracks. It's like, oh no, that Mortu has been back again, has he? And Segrid, when you read the note, it's a love note. And written on it are the words, I would give anything for you, Lila, even my life. It is not signed Danani.
Trouble in paradise.
Trouble in Barovia, as always.
I'll hand the note to Teresa and just say, is there anything that she would take with her no matter what, that's missing? Her clothes gone?
Teresa would look in where she has kept, Leela has kept her traveling clothes in here, and she sees she's taken out all the scarves and put them up over the windows, and one of her, she's looking, it's like, we've been getting her dress ready for this, and I don't think that is here. And then she goes over to the bed and it's like, if she went out in the morning, then she should. She's kind of shy at this point. It's like, we Vistani are not always welcome when we visit the towns or common folk, the Diortios, the places of non-Vistani. So she kind of lifts up where Leela's pillows are and says, like, she has gone out on purpose then, because she has taken her dagger, and then she kind of like, Teresa will like wipe a smudge that's here, and she kind of pokes down at the bedding, and her finger just goes in, and it doesn't go back out. And she kind of peels away the sheet that's on here, and then there's definitely a thicker smell that comes in, and she peels away the sheet that was underneath here. And so instead of a mattress, the mattress here has been replaced with a very thick bed of fresh earth, dirt here, and a little bit of it spills over. And Teresa's like, "What? What does this mean?"
Would I know through history or anything like that about why there would be dirt like that in a bed? Sorry.
Maybe history or nature or.
Yeah, I'll roll
Enemies?
history. Pardon me?
What'd you get?
Oh, I thought somebody said something. I was waiting for them to say something back. Just a 9.
You think that's pretty weird. People don't usually sleep on dirt.
Dirts aren't bad.
You think maybe sometimes pregnant women are known to like eat dirt. Sometimes it's pica. They get these sensations, but that or like houseplants or like pickles. The sleeping on dirt, it's a different thing, or maybe it's the same thing. You're not sure. That part.
All right, I step back from it. I look at Hannah and it's like, you know what this is?
I don't, unless she had a creepy ex-boyfriend, maybe?
I take out my hand axe and I just kind of poke the dirt and maybe brush it back a little bit. See if there's anything underneath.
It's like a solid couple of inches there, and then it hits to like the wood of the fardo where it's kind of built up. It's supposed to be like this window frame, and the windows are covered here, but like it's a couple inches of dirt that somebody has painstakingly put here.
Who is this person that wrote the note? What is the name on that note?
It's definitely a note from Hansi, and it's signed there with a stylized Hansi.
I'll look at Teresa. Who is Hansi?
And she'll come over and look at the note. It's like, oh, no good, Mortu. There is no good that comes. And she kind of like makes a sign, but it's like almost like an S stylized. So it goes side to side and down diagonally, not any other contemporary religional symbols. And she'll make this sound like, we, for a few days now, there has been, there's been a Morthu, one of the banished ones of the Vistani. He's been trailing our troop for many days now, pining for Lila, continually professing his devotion to her. We have been keeping him away, even by throwing stones and threatening him with heavy tongs. But he keeps returning, professing his inappropriate love for Lila. There was, and she'll kind of get a little wry. There, 4 nights ago, Lila did stay out in the woods past nightfall, and she insisted she was not seeing that Hansi, but, well, maybe something is wrong with that girl. She is having her wedding in only 2 days. She is not to be comporting with any mortus. There is only bad that can come from that. And
as someone who has a little bit of experience on dodging weddings, did she really want to get married? Was that her own choice?
yes, we met up with the Bogorovs there when we were. It was rather large city, sound like sneeze. It was a rainy day, but we Vistani can only trust other Vistani on these parts. Don't worry. We know that you are Jordios, but you are Jordios who are invited guests from Bogorov. Yes.
Yes,
Dodge that bullet. All right.
of course. Yes.
Yeah.
So I know. I am from Bohem myself. We, the entertainers task, we interact more with you Georgios. You're not all bad, but my husband, the others here, they would trust more to tradition in where we visit, where we camp, who we speak. Everyone, but Donani is good boy. He brought gift, and she'll hold up the wind fan that's there, and it looks very nice.
So probably more of an abduction than a runaway.
And she'll look, actually, kind of thinking about it, like, oh no, oh, there's more to. I will get Adnan. I will get Keldro. We will. Oh, and she will turn to where Mr. Tree is making his doors, like, where are those footprints? And she would like start marching out. And okay, so she's looking out there, and she sees those tracks. She's not really able to make much of it because she's not. That's not her specialty. But she will go to where the campfire is, where Dantiir and the others are, and so that's where we're catching up with Dantiir. Dantiir, what have you been doing here around the fire?
As soon as I walk up there, I'm going to pull out my violin, and I'm going to start playing. And I'm going to weave in some cantrips, minor illusion. And I'm going to use it to create a sound. More specifically, I'm going to make it create the captain's voice from the night he told the story.
Nice.
The story about family and about Vistani and the Mortu. And I'm going to have him recreate that as I play my violin. And then after I get finished, I'm going to stop. I'm going to look at the gathered people, and I'm going to simply ask, where is the Mortu?
And okay, the oldest man here around the campfire, who's he doesn't exactly have a blanket covering him, but it's kind of like a short shawl. It doesn't match with what he's wearing, so you think that might have been from Teresa. This is Keldro, most about it. He's the actual captain. Adnan's just his son.
I meant like our captain.
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
You sing a well Dorok there. And he'll kind of squint at you and think, like, half elf?
Yes.
We harbor no mortus here within the Moslevarks.
Do you know where he is?
There's no shame that will befall our family before the Bogorovs come here.
I hope not. I'm looking for him, though, and any help would be greatly appreciated.
And it looks like Keldro's going to say one more thing, but it's at this point that Teresa comes in and will start being a little frantic about it. It's like, Lila is missing, your daughter is missing, and the Bogorovs are going to be here within 2 days, and there is a wedding, and there are footprints, and we must gather up everyone around here and go and find them. And there's a little bit of hysterics, and whatever Keldro had been planning to do is a little away. And good.
Sorry.
Oh, you were gonna say?
It's sorry. I didn't really mean to do that.
I will
Kinda
cut that
popped
in post. All right. So Dantiir, from Teresa's really rapid communication, you get to learn a couple of things. There was Leela's missing.
Mm-hmm.
Her dagger that she carried with her is missing.
Mm-hmm.
She does mention something that she did not mention to the others, in that she does say that, Leela's special dress is missing, but also the gloves. And she says this in a way that Keldro and Adnan kind of like recognize this as something special, because she says the gloves.
Okay. And there's like a like reaction from the gather. Okay.
Definitely. Like this was supposed to be something special. And she says that there's tracks that these Giorgios found, and they are heading out, and it is probably that no good Hansi, and she is trying to corrupt their lovely Leah, and no good can come from associating with Mortus, and why aren't they gathering up right now, get off their feet, stop with the coffee and the biscuits, and they have to go find her.
Dantiir is headed straight towards where she came from.
Nice. Okay, so all of you are back there at the Vardo, there where Leela was. Or Leela's Vardo.
We're too late.
And I'm going to take a look at the footprints that Mr. Tree found.
Mm-hmm.
Are there more than one set, or is it just one set?
Let me survival check. These have been here for a few hours. Some of the snow has melted.
That was a natural 20.
Beautiful.
Awesome.
We're
Okay,
gonna find the heck out of those feats.
It's been like 4.5 hours, and there are 2 sets of prints here. One of them came from inside the wagon, because they kind of go out from the lead into the Vardo. And there was another set of boots that came from east-ish in the woods. And then it looks like they kind of stood and meandered back and forth a little bit. And then both, as a pair, went into the woods.
But no sign, like they don't look like they struggled. It just looks like they...
It almost looks like, from the closeness of them, that they did kind of a very slow, almost a dance, but there wasn't really any turning. There was kind of like side to sides at this point. And there's one deep drag in the snow that it maybe looks like somebody got down on a knee.
See, girls always want the bad boys, so I'm pretty sure she went willingly.
Can I
Go for it.
can I ask somebody why he was a Mortu?
The they're actually not sure. It's almost an unmarked thing, but all of the Vistani are able to tell with a semblance of the sight that they may have at like a low grade level. They know that he has been marked in this way of some crime that was so great or harmful to the family that he was exiled from it. And this is not something that's usually forgiven, and is kind of seen as like almost a death sentence to be separated from the family.
Was he originally from this family?
No, that he had been tracking them from a little bit before the Moslavarics came into Barovia, and he's just been hanging out in that way. Okay. They've tried to run him off, but it's hard to... Once they got into Barovia, they didn't really want to leave the wagon circle very much. Mm-hmm. And they figured if they just waited a few days, things would take care of itself.
This sounds safe. Shall we follow the prince?
I say we follow him.
With Hannah's master tracking,
yeah,
there's no problems in the direction they're going. And even though the Muslavarics are gathering kind of heavy tools, and you even see like a set of manacles come out from one of the wagons, or somebody's like setting a set of chains together in case they're needed, they're going to not be moving as fast as you all. But you have tracks that are going, and at this terrain here is just very flat and stony and covered in deep pine forest, and the snow in this part of the mountains varies from like a few inches to a few feet, depending on how close you are to the north and Mount Bertak. And so long as you're following these tracks, you're not going to be able to get lost. The light is still just kind of dim, and the sounds are muffled. The pine smell of the tree is very strong, but there's a very faint and unpleasant odor of, I don't know, something still rotted. Whatever was in the wagon that was maybe been in there for too long is out here. They carried it with them.
I could turn into a dog again.
That's true.
Bloodhound. Is that Strahd's favorite dog?
That's maybe something good to know.
Well, because blood, but yeah.
Bloodhound.
Yeah, I'll turn into it. Actually, I think. Yeah, I could actually turn into a wolf because it's at that challenge level.
That's true. And you did see some wolves just the other day.
It seemed like only yesterday.
Sure, I'll turn into a wolf. Just casually.
I really hope Mr. Tree's like saying this out loud to himself.
Sure,
He's got an intelligence of 9, so yeah, probably.
Okay. I think you get to wild shape as a wolf, and I need you immediately to make a survival check.
Oh, okay.
Mostly because there's all these senses that you're gaining, and so this is with advantage because you're just being bombarded by new scents and noises.
Okie dokie. I only get a... Wait, hold on. I can't remember how it works. I still keep...
You get to use the wolf's senses if you so choose.
It just has advantage on perception, but not with survival. But I keep my intelligence, wisdom, and charisma. So then... I guess that means I can still use Mr. Tree's survival?
Sure.
Because if it comes to like strength, dex, and constitution, then I have to use the wolves. But
Right,
okay, I'll just roll. I'll just roll and see what happens. Well, that I'm glad I have advantage.
Mhm.
Because that was a 1 and a 15, which makes it 19.
Nice. Okay. As you're traveling along, maybe 45 minutes into this, and to the tracks that Hannah had found, there are several wolf tracks that have crossed the snow behind the trees, and this is what have gotten Mr. Tree's attention. And it would have otherwise taken maybe a little more time for searching because of the confusion between the tracks. There's just maybe a half dozen wolves have passed through here that mucked up a lot of this area. But with Mr. Tree in wolf form, the scent of Leela and what must be Hansi is fairly clear. And it takes only like 10 minutes to get back to the regular trail. And so several large pine trees are growing closely together that are kind of in your way as the trail in the snow leads between them. And you are not surprised because Dantiir's whip starts emanating a light at its hilt. There's just a soft glow, but it's blinking in this soft and orange way. And so you know that there are pursuers near you, and they are coming from a direction ahead. So they have been coming from where Leela and Hansi may have been. And fair soon, within a few seconds, you do see a white and 2 ghouls
Hmm.
stumbling through the trees. And Mr. Tree, you know that they are coming from almost a direct path along where Leela and Hansi were coming. And so go ahead and roll for initiative. And you are not surprised by any of these.
Yay.
I'm not surprised. Are you surprised? I'm not surprised.
But
Okay. That's not bad.
Oh, and I know I don't have any of your tokens on the page because I'm going to move you to a new page.
yay.
Be a terrible page filled with evil. Oh, look at this. This is actually a pretty nice page.
It will be.
It will be our death.
I mean, it's a pretty nice looking place to die. It looks real peaceful.
Pretend all that green is snow. I'm going to say
Ah.
there are trees.
It reminds me of home.
And so we're going to have a good old time in there. And so while you're rolling the initiative things, I think this would be a good time, once you've done that, for us to take a short break.
I
and
have
we
to
come
click
back.
on my token first, so I'll do it when we get back.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So better watch it. We'll be taking a short break.
We'll come back and it'll be battle time.
Battle
6 minutes.
time.
Right now it's snack time.
Snack time. Go get those drinks. Go get those snacks. Refresh. Barovia. adjustments. Okay. So we are back here. Let's see. Whites and ghouls have their initiatives in here. Segrid's got hers. Dantiir, what you got?
19.
19.
Having a high dex is awesome.
Makes these sides go.
Also, apparently I just gained spells. Surprise.
Nice.
Where did these come from?
But
Just
my
the other-
initiative is 3, so, you know, feel free to all go ahead of me.
Most everybody. And then what's Mr. Tree the Wolf going as?
10.
10. Okay. So that's pretty good. I'm just going to add the turn as Wolf Mr. Tree.
Yeah.
And there's...
Mr. Bark.
It's still thematically within trees.
Mhm.
Okay. So within about 40 feet, I'd say, ahead of you, these whites and ghouls are making their way down. The white is dressed in kind of tatters and is holding on to like a long sword. It's kind of dragging it behind itself and moving in kind of a shuffle. It's following fairly directly the tracks that Hannah and Mr. Tree have found, and that sword is just drawing through the snow almost directly behind it. The ghouls are dragging their own feet and knees, scuffling up that snow as well. They're not as well dressed, and certainly in this kind of weather, they wouldn't have lasted this long if they didn't have to worry about that sort of thing. Dantiir, you are alive and have things to do. Let's do them.
Let's do them. I'm going to look at the white. I'm just going to whisper at it, death isn't good enough for you, and it needs to make a wisdom save.
Oh no. Wisdom, not super especially good. Let's say it gets a 10.
Okay, it's going to take full damage from this then.
Dang.
So that is going to... Wow. Okay. That's 20 points of psychic damage.
Okay.
And it immediately has to run away from me as far as its movement speed allows as its reaction.
So its head kind of like picks up at this point, and it's targeted by Dantiir, and it's almost making out what you are doing to it, except there's a pain and a half collapse onto its sword. And then if it had any eyes to widen, they would at this point, because it then lifts its sword up and takes a Vamusen and kind of hightails it in a very opposite direction.
And then for my bonus action, I'm going to turn to Mr. Tree. Go get him. And you get Bardic Inspiration. So you have a D6 that you can add to attack rolls, ability checks, or saving throws for 10 minutes. And I am going to move a little bit. I need to... There we go. I'm going to move up to here.
Nice. Just up the trail. There's a bit of rock.
Yep.
These are in the low foothills.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm going to say the ghouls get to go next, and they kind of see the white passing by them, give a ghoulish shrug, and will now very clearly see the rest of you. And though they earnestly just kind of kick a little bit more at the snow, they do have somewhat of a tongue left as they lick their teeth over what used to be lips before they ate them. And they'll make their way rather directly to where you all are. And so they get a bit closer. They don't smell as bad as the ghasts, but they certainly aren't any pleasant to look at. And they'll kind of start circling around, seeing that getting into a little bit of the trees, making it a little maybe difficult to get one of them. The other is going out into the snowbanks, and they want to make sure that you're not getting away. But they're kind of ignoring the wolf for a moment.
The fools.
that's where Mr. Tree gets to go.
Yeah. I'll just go. Let's see. I can move 40 feet as a wolf. I will just run up to the one on the right. I
Mhm.
think.
Yeah, just pass through the bottoms of the trees, and you're getting on them. These snaps. Let me see. Let's see. So as a wolf, I think you've got definitely a bite.
Yeah, I have a bite. I will take a bite.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hey, they get to make it. Okay, hold on. That's only if it hits. That is a 14 to hit.
Oh, 14 on this ghoul is definitely enough. They're not wearing any sort of fancy armors.
Yay, okay, 2d4. Okay. 9 points of piercing damage. And
Good.
it has to make a strength saving throw.
Yeah.
Okay. You make it that strength. It's going to get a 5, which I don't think is very high, usually.
It gets knocked prone.
Dang.
Down. Get up again.
Okay, so this bad boy over here, of the many bad boys that we are tracking down, has been pulled down by Mr. Tree, expert wolf. Are you good with staying with him there?
Yeah.
All right. I think at this point, we'll go to the white. And for Dantiir's effect, does this stay on them?
Nope. It just has. If it fails, it has to run away, and after that, it can totally come right back.
Okay. It seems to be still running for a second, and then its pace slows, and it kind of looks around, and then it's gonna totally just walk off in another direction. But then there's another jolt, and it's almost pulling itself back around and dragging its sword through the snow again, doubly retracing its own steps. It is coming in your direction, just stalwartly, and it's ignoring where the ghouls have moved to. It's moving in almost a steady, straight path, and that's about as far as it can get, I think, here on this turn, which sets it up nicely, or maybe too close for Segrid and Hannah. Let's say Sigrid's going next.
Okay. Doesn't let me measure for some reason.
Let's say they're close enough. They're with every single one of these opponents are within 15 feet of you now.
Okay. Well, I'm going to move up to the white, and I'm going to take out my short sword and just try to hit him.
Mm-hmm.
I believe.
Straightforward.
Yep.
It's got some old studded leather. Oh, that'll work. Yeah, 14 will work.
9 damage. Nice.
So that comes through, and this short sword, is this the silvered short sword?
Yeah, it is. I'm just trying to whack him right in across the shoulder.
It digs deep, and the silver has this shine to it that even as it gets into the grime of this white, the grime kind of slides off of it, and you see him kind of react in a very pained way, as if burned.
I didn't know that would work on these.
And are you good with being close proximity to this white?
I got my shield. I'm fine.
Alrighty. Hannah, our artificer, has seen everything go on.
See everything go on, and I have a new toy.
Cannot wait.
It's not really a new toy.
Really cool.
It's just an addition to my normal toy. So I'm going to shoot at this one up here, diagonally to me, and I'm going to use my Thundermonger.
What?
So I don't know if an 11 hits though.
For that ghoul, it is not real big on what is happening here. It sees you with this kind of a larger wand than usual, but it's still somewhat wary. And the Thundermongers may be a new thing that Hannah hasn't used or tested quite enough yet, and so it does whiz very loudly, but a little off to the side. It'll take a slight adjustment.
Well, that sort of worked.
Like a tree explodes behind the ghoul, and the top is just like halved.
Okay, that's me.
Do you want to get any further closer to this path? Sigrid is ahead of you.
I think I'll go like sort of back behind this rock.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you and Dantiir are kind of both taking cover.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. So we'll say top of the round then, Dantiir. Hannah passes you by after letting loose this rather loud cannon shot.
Clean out my ear. I'm going to first use my bonus action to give Segrid advantage. Or, not advantage, Bardic Inspiration. And then I am going to look back at the white. Run. And it needs to make another saving throw.
It's got this sword stuck in its shoulder.
Yep. Another wisdom saving throw.
This one is a 15. It is maybe distracted by the pain.
Darn it. So it'll only take half of this. That's still going to be 6 points of psychic damage.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And I'm going to...
So the white is having a bad day.
Yeah. And I'm going to put myself a little bit... I'm going to put a rock between me and the ghoul to the left.
That's probably fair things to do. So of the ghouls that we have left, so there's a ghoul who was shot at, kind of avoided it. It's going to very almost clumsily saunter its way over to where Dantiir is around the rock and where he's hiding, and make its own claws around.
Eep.
So this is 10 versus Dantiir, which I think is just moving too slow. It's cold morning, and this ghoul had no fresh coffee.
I did.
Yeah. So I don't think that's going to work at all. With the ghoul that was downed by Mr. Tree, the wolf tree. That one's going to be trying to stand up and to grab at Mr. Tree and claw at one of the eyes here. Let's try this versus an 11.
No.
These are not real stalwart minions of any kind, and if somebody's throwing these at you, well, they didn't expect this much resistance. Let's see. Mr. Tree, what are you going to do now?
I'm gonna bite him. Gonna take another good bite, and that is probably not going to do it.
You do have a d6 to add to it. If
I
you want.
do. Okay, I hope it. I gotta get pretty good. Okay. So 4 plus 5 plus 4.
13.
13
Okay.
will do it, yeah.
Yay!
You're doubting yourself, and Dantiir shows us like, remember!
Yeah.
Remember how great I am.
Okay.
I guess whatever
Alrighty.
works.
4, 5, 7 piercing damage, and it has to make another strength saving throw.
Oh, no.
It's fine.
Okay.
19
You're,
save.
you're chewing on one of its arms, and the arm just like falls off.
Sounds
Yanked
alright.
out of its socket. And it's kind of looking at that and looking at you, and it kind of gives a low growl. Where the white is now dealing with Segrid. it has whatever goals in mind. It is going to be using this longsword, even as its wound is festering in its shoulder. And so, Segrid, this is a 17 and a 16 versus your AC.
Both hit.
Okay, so that's 3 slashing damage from the first attack and 6 slashing from the second. As this white kind of lays in, and although it's otherwise looking very bad for wear and tear, your attack hurt it. It's taken a lot of psychic damage. If it had brains left, they'd be leaking down of its ears. But there's just this unholy anger within it. And even now, it's kind of like trying to shuffle forward and pressing against you with its sword and shoulder. What are you doing?
I'm going to... It just made me angry. I'm gonna hit it with the sword again. Short sword again.
Hammer.
At 7, but I'm gonna use my inspiration to roll another d6, right?
Yep.
Nice.
And add to that. Okay. Only makes it a 9.
No.
9 is not going to do it. And like, the white actually has a response for this. It's meeting your sword there. It's like, I was like you once. You will be like me soon.
Never.
Hannah, what you doing?
All right, she's gonna step out from behind the rock, and sort of blow on her cannon for luck and try it again.
Don't hit me.
Oh yeah, try not. There's
Yeah,
ghoul by a tree, ghoul by Dantiir, and a white.
yeah, it's the one by Dantiir. It's the
Oh.
one attacking Dantiir.
Oh sure, okay, that's almost point blank. That's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. It's a
Okay.
goofy-
Fine.
So that's an 18. That definitely will hit this ghoul's armor class. And tell us
So
about
just
this
three
damage. What's
piercing
happening here?
and 5 thunder.
So it's taking this piercing damage and the thunder, or just one of these?
Both.
Both, of course it is.
Good.
Okay, Dantiir, this ghoul does not get missed this time. And so there's a splattering of a little bit of gore onto Dantir's clothes. And there's a little bit of explosion that knocks off a chip of this rock. So whatever Hannah did was very forceful.
And then she'll step back behind the rock again.
It's fine. It's cool. Dantiir, what you doing?
I am going to use my bonus action to become beautiful.
Mhm.
So all 3 of you guys get how many HP? You guys get let's see, 3 plus 3 temporary HP.
Sweet.
And then I'm going to attack this thing with my silvered rapier. Fingers crossed. No. That is going to be a 11 to hit.
That will not hit, I would say. There's I'd say that's where there used to be a shoulder, but now there is mostly a thunder cannon.
My ears are still
impression.
ringing.
Oh, yeah. Just one of those things.
Yep. But that will do. Yeah, that will do it for me.
Okay. Let's say in response to that lunge, it's going to attempt to bite you.
Yep.
In the worst way. And just reaches for you and like just coming in for that and just like misses by the brim of your hat.
Just pull back a little.
And the other by Mr. Tree is definitely digging into your wolf pelt, and it's drooling a little bit on this, and this is just unsanitary. This is why children are supposed to wash hands before they eat meals or go into battle or anything like this. So, Mr. Tree, I think a 20 versus your AC will work.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So that'll be 8 slashing damage, and this ghoul has not washed probably in years. So I need you to do a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. Hey, again, the wolf has higher con than I do. Yay!
Wow.
That's not going to help. That's a 2.
Okay.
So 3.
It's not a very clean wolf either. All right, you are paralyzed for about a minute.
Oh dear.
Oh.
And this ghoul is muttering something that, as you are now paralyzed and can hear once there's no bird song to distract from, it's like, you taste good, like lady said. Good food on trail. And Mr. Tree, it's your turn, so you are paralyzed for the whole of it. But that means that at the end of this turn, you get to roll another Constitution save.
Yay! Okay. 12, so 13.
Oh, that's perfect. You just need some 10. Okay, so you hear this menacing talk, and it's coming in for probably not a love bite, but you're at least, at the end of this turn, no longer paralyzed.
I drop its arm.
Doesn't taste good. And then the white versus Segrid is going to attempt to push Segrid back, so this will be a strength versus strength. Or strength versus athletics. This is, you have to beat a low number.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah. You're fine, Segrid, but the white is showing some frustration in its eyes. It's earnestly just full of hate, and we'll let loose a little bit of that rage with its sword. That'll be a 13 versus AC.
Sorry, doesn't hit.
Does not hit. Okay.
I hit it with my
Secret.
shield.
Yeah.
Nice.
Segrid knows her way around things. Speaking of, let's take care of this. Let's bring this home, Segrid. What you doing?
I am going to chop its head off. I'm just going to try. If not, at least jam the blade up through his head.
That's certainly one way to do it.
Oh.
Womp, womp, womp. Got a natural 20 on that. Yay.
That's 11 points.
So let's say that both those things happen. Let's say that you jam up your blade through the white's skull and head, and while it's gurgling something to further respond with another push, that head just flies off. And so that white is no longer a problem. Nice. So you can move about where you need to. Dantiir is a little bit behind you. Mr. Tree seems to be having some troubles. Hannah's behind a rock.
I'm behind a rock.
I'm going to move to definitely going to move to Mr. Tree here. And that's really all I'm going to do.
Okay. Hannah, how about you?
I am going to shoot the thing again.
Same thing?
No, she's just going to use her normal. The last one was a bit too loud. She doesn't want to draw more attention to herself. Is a 12 hit?
Oh, definitely.
Okay, good. I did 12 piercing.
That's incredible shooting. This is the same one that you've been after, the one.
Yeah, the one that's
Dantiir?
on Dantiir.
Yep.
This one, the head just comes off, but like not in a way that it falls off. It's just not there anymore. This head doesn't exist.
Is
except in,
Dantiir spattered in mist?
Oh yeah. No,
you can't tell because I'm wearing red.
This is where the head went, and there's just like.
That's why I wear red.
Yeah. The good news is, Hannah, it works.
Yay!
Yes.
It works super well. Where would you like to be?
I think she's just gonna stay there.
Okay, success. And just
Mhm. Her lucky spot.
so far. All right, Dantiir, you are messy, but there's no longer there's like a ghoul that just like falls in
Yep.
front of you, hits the rock, falls to the other side.
I'm heading over to the last one, and I'm going to take a swing at it.
Mhm.
That is going to be a much better number. That is going to be 22 to hit.
Oh, definitely.
That is going to be 7 points of damage from my silvered rapier.
Oh, nice. Okay. So as that goes in, the ghoul is ended with this as Sav's like, oh, food, no, and is just gone. Which, you know, sometimes that's how we all go, just before a meal. That's just how it happens. So that's done with that initiative bits.
I got one, guys.
I heard.
Nice.
Prestidigitation.
Dantiir's doing that. The ghoul wipes off. But Dantiir's saying this like super loud, like in his singing voice.
Yeah. No, it's like I heard.
Why are you yelling?
I can't hear. I want to check out the white.
Same.
Yeah. See if there's anything distinguishing.
It looks like it's been out and either in the mountains or just in damaging weather, such that it's most of his clothing here is tattered and like valueless for. It's not a good shirt, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But it's still wearing this very ornate bronze torque, almost like as a necklace, and that still looks very fine. There's a little bit like the torque ends in little dragon heads, like little open mouth things, and then the body of the dragon is at the other ends.
Does it look magical?
Hmm.
I'll grab it.
All right.
I'm watching him do this.
He's like, body, and all right, puts it into his sack. He's taken almost a necklace off of this body. There is the sword that it was fighting you with, Segrid, wasn't a particularly nice sword. It's got a lot of pits and dents, but certainly the skill it was fighting you with was somewhat formidable. Like, there would have been respect here if it wasn't trying to murder you.
And eat you.
There's nothing else on it other than the torque?
On that one there, they at least what they were carrying. It doesn't look like it had any sort of like personal baggage.
All right. And I removed the head completely, right?
Oh yes, that's gone.
Okay. I'm going to go take the heads off the rest if there's anything left of them.
You know what? That's fair.
Hey, we had to do it for the one guy.
Just in case.
Yep.
Here's my question. Do these guys smell very strongly of the slight scent that was in the girl's wagon?
It's a little more musky than what had been in the girl's wagon, but there's definitely something similar.
Oh.
Gross.
Like if it was, if it had to be from like two brands of deodorant, it would be the brands that were the most similar to each other.
It's Old Spice and then the store brand knockoff Old Spice.
It's like that.
Yeah.
Gross.
Yeah. We should probably keep going though.
Yeah. They're in bad ways if they're still alive.
So I'd say, with Mr. Tree, are you still a wolf?
Yeah.
Okay, then
It lasts for an hour.
it's not going to be any problem for you then to get back on track. And
Although I am limping.
oh, well, the trail that you follow uh, is mostly marred by almost a direct path of the white and what the ghouls had been traipsing through. Have blotted out through their own traipsing almost entirely the boot prints and shoe prints that have been here, but your nose is able to discern both their smell and that of Leela and Hansi out here. And so, Mr. Tree, it's you who does find kind of buried a little bit in the snow. There is a bracelet. It's got jewels on it. It looks like it's kind of thin, folds up, enclosed, and that's about just within like an hour of the path that you've been traveling on.
About an hour. Okay, I'm almost pretty much not a wolf anymore. So I think he'd like go to like sort of like nose it and then like bamf back into dragonborn form, but he's on the ground.
On all fours.
Just on all fours.
Yeah.
Okay. And there's this jeweled bracelet that's on Mr. Tree's snout. Just like where the nostrils are. So you no longer have the wolf tracking unless you wild shape again, but you think that it would be a pretty straight shot from here. It's still a little bit to the east, just a couple of degrees away from it. I think it'll be another hour of that until the dense trees do finally give way to a large and rocky clearing about, let's say a good 100 feet diameter. And at the center of this clearing are 7 massive, weather-worn stones. And they are jutting from the ground like blunt and misshapen teeth. And at the center of these stones is a small hill, and it's bearing a flat table-like rock, like one of the stones that's just been leveled over. And there is a man stretched across this stone, bound with ropes and struggling weakly. And there is a Vistani woman standing above him, and her skin, it's almost white as the snow here. It's very pale, and she's holding above a stone bowl in her hands and speaking something here. And let me put Mr. Tree's token back here. And what happened to the wind fan? I forgot.
Segrid has it, I think, still.
I think so, yeah.
Okay. You're carrying it, so you're going to be the one who notices, but there's been... From your case that you've been carrying, from the bag, there is a carrion stench, just of something that has been dead for a while, and flies let to feast on it. And you smell it coming from the bag with the wind fan in it.
Oh, I'm pulling that out right away. I'm not having that on me.
Oh, now it is very strong. And so I'm going to say that this is happening. I'm not going to move you to a different map, but you're within, say, 100 feet of where this ceremony is going on. These trees on this map will be of the stones. And so Hannah, Segrid, Dantiir, and Mr. Tree, you get to do what you will.
Go for it.
Go ahead.
Dantiir would like to stealthily approach.
Okay, give me a stealth check.
Hey, I'm pretty okay at that. That's a natural 20.
Nice.
So I'm very, very, very stealthy.
Okay, so it's mostly a clearing. I guess you're getting behind one of the stones. Yeah.
Yeah. That the trees are the stones, right?
Yes.
And I'm going to just listen and see if I can hear what is going on in the slightest. Did we get a description of the bride to be?
I don't think so.
Mm,
Probably would have been good to have.
Probably.
maybe so. This does look like she has some features in common with. Yes.
Does she have the gloves?
She is wearing a pair of silken blue gloves. Like from here to here, all the way to elbows, a little over. And her dress is also of, it's not like a wedding dress, but it is a very nice blue dress.
Okay. About how, let's see.
She looks kind of like, I guess, you would have to really squint to make her look anything like Kelder or Teresa, but maybe she's a little paler.
How far away is she? Let's see.
Within about 50 feet of you.
Okay. I am going to pull out my short bow. And if she moves to like hurt the dude, I'm gonna shoot her.
Okay. That's a good action to ready. How about Mr. Tree? What you doing?
Oh man, I'm conflicted because I really wanna work with my 9 intelligence, but then it might not be good for everybody else.
That's okay. You do what a 9 intelligence tells you to do.
Yeah.
But you also have a pretty decent wisdom, don't you?
Well, yeah, but I mean, I have this bracelet. It might belong to this woman standing on a rock. I don't know what she's doing. Seems like something
She's
strange.
holding up a bowl. Something.
Yeah.
You've been a druid a long time. Sometimes people just do things. They have to stand within a bunch of stones and say some words.
Totally commonplace. Oh man. Yeah. Okay. I'm just gonna just start lumbering my way over there, but kind of slowly.
Okay.
Not at all stealthily.
Fair. That means that you get to see, now that you're closer, and that on the man that's standing flat on the rock, he is tied with ropes like bound around the top of the rock. His legs are bound around the bottom of it, and there's been some kind of foul-smelling black paste applied to his chest so that there is a stylized eye on there. And Hannah, what you doing?
Hannah she's gonna stealth like Dantiir, but she's gonna move to a different section. She's gonna like come over this way. With the ultimate goal of sort of moving around to up here and hoping that the lady will be distracted and she can sort of untie the guy.
Okay.
So I'll do a stealth. I'm not good at stealth, guys. Oh, 15.
Not bad.
Seems good.
It tastes pretty good. Okay. So certainly to our friend that is chanting something up with a bowl of probably not Fruit Loops, you are not detected. And as you get past the stones of where Dantiir is, you see hanging out on the just 2 stones further from you, there's the unmistakable stench, and then you see the form of a ghast. This is kind of like the fancy one that had been dressed up back in Arashnau village, except this one is definitely less fancy. These are more simple, common pants, and what remains of its shirt is just to the
Peasant
wind.
ghast.
Peasant pant.
And Segrid, what are you doing? How are you approaching this?
I'm opening the box to see what's in there.
The box with the wind fan?
Yep.
So the wind fan is still there, and it's definitely the source of this carrion emission. There's nothing dead on it, but the scene on it that had been painted is now a very dour and clouded forest scene. And now it's just darkened all over. And some of the paint, it looks like it's begun to run in the same way that a blood stain may have. There's like almost water damage to it at this point. And you have kept that very safe. So this is just unfortunate. It otherwise looks like it's undamaged. It just smells.
Okay. Is it actually dripping or anything? It's just clean?
It's clean.
All right, I'm going to shove it down my boot and then start running towards the group.
All right.
To where Dantiir is, next to Dantiir.
Sure. Okay, so Dantiir and Hannah are stealth. Hannah, you see a ghast that is kind of like waiting in this way, and Mr. Tree and Segrid are both approaching pretty close. And as Segrid kind of goes forward rather readily, and Mr. Tree sauntering cautiously, Leela, of course, Leela's eyes go down from where she'd been staring above and to where Segrid and Mr. Tree are approaching, and she will grunt kind of a frustration at this, as, do you know how many hours I've been standing here to complete this ceremony? And she'll put down the bowl next to where this man is tied down, and she'll give him a gentle kind of slap taps on his face, like, Hansi, you will be giving me your life soon enough. There are just a few uninvited guests to the ceremonies today. And she will turn to the direction of where Mr. Tree is and point to the ghast. It's like, this one is mine. You, the one with the choppy thing. And I'm going to go ahead and say, let's roll for initiative just so we can get some good stuff on this part.
All right, maybe I'll do better than a 3 this time.
Nice, 16.
Yay!
Yay, a 10. That works.
Nice. So I got, let me take off the wolf. Let's see, Hannah's at a 10. I guess is at a 7. Segrid, you are at 16. Right?
Yep.
Dantiir, what you got?
I am also at 16.
Nice.
What's your dex?
Mine is 1.
Okay, mine's
Modifier.
3.
You go
Okay.
first.
So we'll just have you go slightly ahead, I guess. That's,
0.14.
and we will have Leela roll hers. So she's not. She doesn't think that you are very much of a threat, I guess. So Dantiir, we'll have you go first, and Segrid.
Oh,
you get to
I got an 18.
Oh, an 18. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not-
I need
it
Mr.
didn't-
Tree on there.
Show up.
So no, forget all of them. Mr. Tree. It's just like, what? This Leela is walking towards you, and you can see that. So you've got the paste of an eye on this guy's face. On his chest, and Leela, who's wearing these white gloves, is her eyes are kind of red now that you're really close to where she is, and she definitely doesn't smell the nicest.
Hmm. Okay.
She is wearing a lot of jewelry, though, except on her right hand, which is bare. There's bracelets and bangles on the other one, though.
Womp, womp, womp.
Well, Mr. Tree's just gonna like hold up the bracelet, still just kind of like, oh, sorry for interrupting. We just found this on the road, and maybe you should just stop for a minute. And he's gonna use entangled.
Oh, okay.
So Leela has to make a strength saving throw.
Oh, that's, you know what? Surprisingly,
Oh,
it's something
gosh.
she is like a almost waif, but she rips these vines out of the ground in almost a visceral way.
That's it.
Sure, she's definitely not as. She's a lot stronger than she looks. Just saying. So, Dantiir.
Hey, I'm gonna have her make a wisdom save.
Okay. You're coming out from behind this rock.
Yep, I will emerge from behind it, whisper something intimidating and terrifying at her, and she's gonna have to. She makes it, but she still takes half.
Sure. She looks back at you with like a glare.
That is going to be. That is going to be 17, so 8 points of psychic damage.
Okay.
And then I am going to be beautiful again. And if Hannah is within 60 feet, I think she is. But everybody, all of my companions will get +3.
Okay.
Does it stack with the previous +3?
Yeah, I'm 40 feet away from you.
Nah, temporaries will only refresh themselves.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Okay.
But we had been moving for 10 minutes, so it was gone.
Oh, sure. That takes us. Leela will kind of look at your radiance. It's like, not bad. Not bad.
Oh, wait,
And-
never mind. That was something. Okay.
I guess. Segrid, there's a ghast coming your way, and a rather close red-eyed lady. There's a familiar shade to this degree of red.
Have I seen it? Do I know where I've seen it before?
Oh, you definitely remember it from the eyes of the rather large wolf the other morning. They don't have the same intensity, but they do have the same sheen.
I want to go after the ghoul, but I know Sigurd would go after the Leela.
Wait.
So I'm gonna
Mhm.
move over there
Oh, yeah.
and hit her with my silvered short sword.
Oh, that's fine.
Attempt, anyways. I don't hit.
She like grabs the blade of it and just parries it away. There is a great strength here.
Oh hell!
We'll keep you there. Hannah, you are still hidden.
Yes, I would like to piss her off.
Nice.
I would like to dash. I don't know if I can get all the way there, but I would like to. Yeah, I can almost get to him.
Oh my gosh.
Um,
I mean, you let me know. It's not an exact science what's there on the token grids. You need to get to that place, that altar.
yeah.
Okay, then that's what happens. Dash over
All
there.
right. Cool. And I'm gonna start untying him.
Oh, she hates this.
I worked so hard on those knots.
Yeah. Like, get away from him. And she is distracted. It's like, forget the pointy one. She'll be talking to the gas. It's like, destroy those. And the gas mumbles his way over to you. It's definitely got a stench that's coming with it. And It's coming at you with claws for Hannah. This is 14 versus your AC, Hannah.
My AC is 15.
Ooh.
Oh, dang. Okay, so you're just dodging between the nuts, I'd say. Segrid, you did see that there was some blood on Leela's hands as she parried the blade, but even now, as she brings them back up to rake in your face, you see that blood has just dried up, and the whatever nicks that she gained are gone from her hand.
Okay. Okay.
And she will slash at you.
Neither hit.
Yeah, which I think you're going to dodge really readily. But then with a 14, that's her second attempt at getting you out of her way. Which I don't think...
No, I'm hitting it with
Oh,
my
there you
shield's
go.
catching it all.
Shield. You've not come here to play. Mr. Shree, how about you? You can hear those bangles rattle. This gold.
I guess I'll saunter my way up to her, to Leela, and just like have my little quarterstaff, which is more like just a tree limb, really, at this point. But I'm gonna try and smack her with my quarterstaff.
Sure.
That'll work. No. That's 7.
No, that like slams against her back, and to most anyone in normal circumstances would have knocked them down or made them shudder, and she just like takes it onto the shoulder. And she looks at you, and those eyes are angry and red, so red.
That's me.
Dantiir, how about you?
I'm gonna keep whispering at her.
Sure.
Gonna work eventually. If you throw enough at a wall, it'll stick eventually. So I need a wisdom save.
Let's try her out with that wisdom of 19.
And this will be 4 psychic damage. And I will move up to the altar as well.
Okay. So it's you and Hannah. There's a ghast here. Nice. Okay, then Segrid, it's you versus this not very nice young lady. Who is getting increasingly agitated as she sees people run past her to where Hansi is waiting.
I'm hoping her distraction will let me actually get a proper hit on her.
Let's try it. She is very distracted. Let's take advantage on this.
That's
Advantage.
16.
Ooh.
Oh, advantage. Okay.
Yeah, let's try this out.
Again.
We're pretty distracting us too.
She does not want Hansi to get away. Oh, that's pretty good. Okay. Both hit on that part. Let's take the higher of those 2 damages. I know it's like automatic.
Thank you.
Let's see. So as you're digging into her, there's definitely some... the cuts go in, at least. But they are... There's just... Even as you're pulling your sword out, it's starting to slowly heal up behind. Are you okay with staying where you are on her?
So Dantiir and Hannah are helping the guy in the stone.
Mm-hmm.
Has the other guy attacked yet?
He hasn't had a chance, but he is going for it next, right after Hannah gets a turn.
I'm gonna stay where I'm to for now.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep her distracted.
Sure. Hannah, this stench is real bad. I'm going to say that you need to give me a constitution save right now.
Gross.
Yeah, it's one of those things. This
It's
guy's...
stanky.
21.
Oh, that's fine.
Very
You're not going to have to worry about that stank anymore.
I've
You've
smelled some gross things in my life.
Yeah. You worked with worse.
I was in college.
Not many, but worse. All right, you've got your whole turn ahead of you.
Okay. Well, she's gonna try and keep untying Hansi, but she's gonna try and keep herself, like basically keep Hansi in the altar between her and the ghast.
Sure. Okay.
Um,
Go ahead and give me, I guess, a sleight of hand for getting loose these ropes.
oh, 6.
Oof.
Please.
Not the best.
You know what? It's cold out here. There's snow on the ground. It's just one of those things. You at least, I'm going to say that you get the gag off. That's not going to be too difficult.
Okay.
It's just like, please help me. She's going to kill me. She's of the vampire now. And that's when the gas kind of overcomes him with the stench. Let me just, he's just gonna pass out. It's like, he faints dead away. And let's have that gas though focus on the one in red that smells not
Amazing.
amazing. Just you are fresh, and you will be fresh for Leela's ritual. And that's where the gas gets to. Try out his claws on Dantiir. There's a 14 versus AC.
Yes. That's exactly it.
There you go. So this will be 6 slashing damage. And you need to do a con save real quick.
Eh.
Or else be paralyzed.
That is going to be a 15.
That'll work. So it hurts and it stings, but you've experienced similar. So just the 6 slashing damage from that. And because Hannah is still working on those ropes and has gotten Hansi to actually taken off the gag, and that Leela is very concerned about her property in this ritual, and she'll make a move out to where Hannah is directly. So Segrid and Mr. Tree, you both get attacks of opportunity. I'm going to say advantage on both because Leela's very distracted at this point.
Okay.
Oh, definitely.
21 to hit.
Both of you got 21s to hit. All right.
Hey.
Roll for some damage here.
Yeah.
4 for me.
Nice. Okay.
So that is. Oh gosh, I was rolling the wrong one. That's worse. That's 6 bludgeoning damage.
Nice.
Smack people with my stick.
Okay. She is. Leela is running and taking these, and her bodies are bruising and bleeding. And then, as she's running, you see her body is kind of closing up these wounds. It's certainly a sight to see. She has sustained some injuries with the way that you have been fighting her, but every few seconds, it's like another injury has healed itself. And so, as she goes towards Hannah, there's a very angry vampire in front of you.
This was a bad idea.
And she's just overcome, and these thick gloves are getting in her way, and she rips them off of her hands, and there's just bangles and at least and some jewels that go flying, and these gloves come off, and her fingernails are just pallid, and you can almost see bone stretched to its limit here, and they're just nails that they are ready to shred. Mr.
Dear.
Tree, what you doing?
Okay, so smacking her is really not doing me any good.
It's doing some. She's got this healing factor.
Mm-hmm.
She's like Wolverine.
She's got them claws.
Okay, I think that he will probably, or will he? Could I get over to the altar and start trying to help get Hansi free as well?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Go to the altar. It's pretty close to where you are now. So give me a sleight of hands yourself.
Oh, that's not terrible. That's 13.
That'll be fair. Okay, you're able to get Hansi ropes off. He is unconscious. He has passed out from the gas stench, possibly from terror.
I mean, I don't think I'd be able to do it now, but I'm gonna try and just grab him and like carry him with me.
Sure. I mean, he's not protesting, so let's say that that's
Okay.
automatic success, and so you've got him. What's your regular speed, kind of?
My regular is just 30.
Okay, I'd say that from where you've got about 10 more feet to go. Are you heading back, or are you heading more forward and just kind of like passing this crowd?
I'm gonna start trying to head back the way we came.
Okay, so you kind of dive in. Hannah's under assault by vampire. Gast is over
Like,
here, slobbering with Dantiir. Mr. Tree just comes in, ties. Yoinks! This guy out. Okay, Dantiir, it's between you and vampire and Gast and Hannah. Mr. Tree has come in and come out. There's nobody on this. You hear Leela give a hiss.
I am going to need a wisdom save
From who?
from the vampire.
Okay.
She makes it, but she still takes some damage.
You're learning a lot of things about vampires. They're usually very wise.
Yep. All of my damage are wisdom saves. That is going to be... it's still going to be 7 points of damage, though.
Okay.
Psychic damage.
These wounds are hard to heal.
And I am going to... I'm going to take 2 attacks of opportunity if I move. I'm going to not leave yet.
Okay. Not leave yet is a plan.
Did I see where she threw the gloves?
Like they were thrown onto kind of Hansi's body there over the rope, so they're still there on top.
All right. Could I grab them?
Oh, sure.
Okay.
You got gloves.
All
All
right.
right. Sigrid, you're over there by one of the stones. Mr. Tree is kind of like gotten back to where you are. He's carrying this like unshirted young man. He's got like blonde hair.
I'm just going like, huh.
Look at that.
I'm gonna get between Mr. Tree and the bad guys.
The baddies.
Yeah, and I'm gonna probably move up to right here, probably just behind Dantiir.
Mhm.
And I'm waiting for one. I'm holding my turn till, or I can hold my turn, but waiting for one of them to pass by me to try to get there. I'm kind of blocking the way.
Nice. Okay. Hannah, that means that it's you who's got a vampire in her face, but
Okay, so I'm hoping that when Mr. Tree grabbed Hansi, she was slightly distracted.
oh yes, she has her sights on her. It's like, if you're gonna interrupt an hours-long ritual on my,
I have been
So-
working.
I'm going to sacrifice all of you to keep
I'm gonna
my
try
beauty.
something that might be really, really stupid, but I'm gonna try it.
Beautiful.
Because I finally got spells, so exciting. I haven't put them on my sheet yet, but I'm going to cast Disguise Self and disguise myself as Leela's mother. And say, dear, you wouldn't sacrifice your own mother.
I need a deception check.
4.
So you're just
Super convincing.
yeah. It's like, you might not want to stand there when you cast such magics.
You weren't looking, though.
I'm assuming you don't drop it. You're just there as Teresa, just the little
Yes.
old lady. Okay. The Gast is then tasked with you, Hannah, because it's like, my mother would not. My mother has held me back for too long. She knows
Damn it.
that I should have gone out in the world and not stuck here with the other
She
Moslevics.
hated her dad.
Yeah.
Little did you know, she hated her mom.
I hated training the horses and shoeing them every
Never
day.
let me play the sports I wanted to, Mom.
Yeah. So Hannah, instead of facing a vampire, you are now facing a ghast with a
Slightly
12.
better.
Her mom was nice. I don't think. I think she's kind of blowing this out of proportion. Segrid, Leela is passing by you on her way to Mr. Tree and Hansi's body.
Do I get an
hit
attack of
her with sword.
opportunity too?
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, that's definitely a hit from Segrid.
That's friendly.
22 to hit for me.
Both.
Damage from.
Nice.
And that is going to be 8 points of damage with my rapier.
Okay.
Silver if it matters.
It does not. So that's good knowledge for vampires. They both dig in and are healing behind her, even as she runs. And so, Segrid, you actually get one more attack of opportunity if you'd like to take it. I think, yeah.
Okay. Only 7.
Okay, so that misses on that. Mr. Tree, you are carrying Hansi, and Leela doesn't like that. She wants this body back.
Oh no.
So she is going to be grabbing for it immediately. So this is this will be your athletics
Ooh.
or acrobatics to dodge out of the way, and she's grabbing at Hansi's legs just behind with the 13.
Okay. My athletics is pretty good, so that's not gonna do it. That's only 12.
Okay. She's just you have Hansi's arms, she has Hansi's legs, his head is lolling back
Oh
and
no.
forth at both of these, but he just slips through your claws, and Leela has him a little too strongly at this point, and she stumbles back with him, but is now going to move a little bit with him, and she does this Spider-Man kind of action, just climbs right up this 10-foot tall rock, and she's standing over it, and she looks at the rest of you all and kind of gives a hiss. And Mr. Tree, what you doing?
Crud.
We'll finish this another time. I will be as beautiful, and you, I don't think will be here very long.
No, probably right.
Kind of the idea.
I can't do much, but I can try to entangle again. But I'll just try and entangle again.
Right up these stones, these ancient and weathered rocks. So
Strength saving throw.
let's see that.
No, that's exactly what she needed to make. It's only 12.
Okay, she kicks these off. She's very strong for a young lady of such pale and flashy skin. So the 12 means that she does break off from that entanglement, though you have kind of made a mess of this stone in particular. All right. Are you okay with where you are, Mr. Tree? You could get closer. There's still a ghast over there. Certainly, Leela's carrying an unconscious boy baby man here.
He'll get closer towards the ghast then. Is that something that he might be able to do stuff with?
Sure. It's got a body. Bodies can be disrupted in some ways.
Yeah.
Okay. Dantiir, what you doing? So you've seen the vampire Leela has come over here, fought with Mr. Tree over her body, and is now spider climbed up a rock.
Is she still wearing any bangles on her hands?
Yeah, lots of them.
Okay. I am going to cast heat metal on it.
All a jangle.
Yep.
Okay.
So
Tell
she's
me
gonna
about
take some damage.
Sure.
And that is going to be 12 points of fire damage.
Oh gosh. Okay, that's a lot. She is going to shriek out, then holding up her arm. Ah! And this is absolutely Hansi goes flying down.
Yep.
Well, it's like flying, but it's the opposite because it's
Yep.
definitely not.
Falling.
It's falling with style.
Oh, there's no style here. As this vampire does not like the feeling of burning, and Hansi's body just goes into the snow. Just here, so he's fine, I'm sure. He
Yep.
doesn't say anything about it.
He didn't complain.
Yeah, it's just one of those things.
Hey.
Segrid. Oh, I'm sorry, Dantiir. You've got other things.
No.
Do you want? To
Yes,
stay where you
actually. I'm going to move towards the body.
are? Okay.
I'm not going to pick it up, though.
I mean, who would? Segrid, how about you?
I'm gonna go after the dead dude.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So I'm gonna move up to right here. And I'm gonna try to hit with my short sword again.
He's a very
22,
dead
so.
dude, and you're making him a little deader, I think, with a 22. Nice. Okay. So that definitely hurts, and he's all of this he is feeling. So there's none of this healing ability that Leela had been showing off. And their sword digs deep. You're in a good spot. Anything else?
Nope, that's it.
Okay. Hannah, you are here. You have had enough of this smell. You've had enough of this place a little bit. Certainly it's been an experience.
Yes.
That lady over there, she's standing on top of a rock shouting something about, I don't know, hot bracelets. She dropped the guy, whatever he was doing.
I'm gonna let the gas take an attack of opportunity so that I can move over here.
Oh, he's dealing with Segrid.
Okay, good. So I'm moving over here and I'm gonna shoot the vampire.
Yes.
Nice.
Shoot the vampire.
With the thundery one.
Ooh.
Shoot her.
Oh, so 13 to hit.
She is going to take that, I'm going to say, because she is burning from gold bangles that should not have been burning. Who makes these
So
things?
it's 8 piercing and 6 thunder.
Are you serious? All right.
No, yes, I am serious.
That goes right through her. The piercing one, you can see that already closing, but the thunder damage that blows out through her back is something that her healing factor is not dealing very well with.
Ah.
So you can see it just slowly closing up, but she is, maybe she should take up clericdom because she's a lot more holy than she used to be. The ghast over by Segrid and Mr. Tree can only do so much on its own. Mistress, and we'll take a jab for Mr. Tree.
Ow!
This is 18 versus AC.
That hurts a lot.
Okay, so 11 slashing damage, Mr. Tree, and I'm going to say that you already did one of these saves before, yes? Well, give me a Constitution save then, Mr. Tree, for these dirty claws.
Can anyone hear the DM?
I can't.
Oh,
Okay,
you were
I'm
silent.
I think we lost you, Paul.
Oh, no.
Tap, tap,
Oh, no.
test.
Oh no!
Can you still see me? Well, I'm going to check if something has disconnected.
No.
Da, 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 da.
Mr. Tree, you've been saved.
And so the zombie and vampire are defeated. Oh, hey! Hey!
I can hear you very quietly.
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right.
I think I know when it happened. You had like shouted and then got really quiet, and
That
then it
must
died,
be-
and now it's
And
dead.
now you are quiet again, and we can't hear you.
I'm gonna shout louder then.
Okay.
How is it?
We can hear you now.
All right, Mr. Tree, you saved. Am I shouting or am I just barely audible?
You're just
You are-
barely audible.
Yeah.
Dang. Okay. Well, turn up some gain on that. The good news, bad news is that this vampire is on her last legs. I'm gonna need attacks from every single one of you on your choice. If you can hit the vampire, that would be good. If you hit the gas, that would be different.
Okay,
Also-
ice knife.
Also, she needs to make a Constitution save.
Okay.
Oh, I do.
No, the vampire does.
Vampire gets a 13.
Okay, so she does not have disadvantage on. Oh, yeah, she does not have disadvantage on attack rolls or ability checks.
Okay. Ice knife. What's she got to do?
I just have to roll to hit her.
No.
Yeah, but it's only a 14.
That'll go. She's still burning.
Oh, okay. So that's 7 piercing damage.
All right.
And then she also has to make a dexterity saving throw.
So it explodes. Let's get this out of the way.
Oh,
her
yeah,
dexterity
she's-
25. Just bats that ice.
Yeah.
Okay. Segrid?
Can I throw my hand axe at her?
Absolutely.
7
Ooh.
damage.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Oh, my gosh. Right in the face. That's what she uses to think with. Okay. Hannah,
Yes.
what you doing?
Thunder 19,
No!
so 5 piercing, 1 thunder.
That's a lot of piercing. Okay. She is axed and iced and exploded,
And she's gonna get shot.
and shot. Dantiir?
That is going to be a 15 to hit,
Yep.
and that is going to be wrong dice. So that is going to be 7 points of piercing.
Oh, shot through the heart, and you are to blame, Dantiir. With all of that, you are able to take Leela out, and she collapses off of that stone. It's very sad news, but I don't think Danani's getting married in a few
No.
days.
No.
Hansi is going to be alive, and I'm going to say that that's going to be today's session, and we'll get to wrap
Yay!
up what happens, at least on the next time. So if you're here with us, we'll see you on next Thursday at 6. And any critters out there, let's see some roll.
Yay, we didn't die again.
We
I
survived
thought
without our adult.
Well, you did
We still have
murder
to
a
get
girl.
back to our adult, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if you ruined a wedding or you saved one.
I think we may have saved one.
Well,
Dress is
he
gone.
was checking out Sigrid, so maybe Sigrid, there's an opening.
New wedding.
No.
I mean, they came all this way already.
I can just disguise you as her.
You've got some gloves.
No, that could work, but no. Secrets likes him a little bit tougher, a little bit more confidence.
Hey, he's a project. You could work on him.
Act.
Oh,
Maybe. If she actually survives.
you have to get back.
Yeah,
You have to get
exactly.
back. Okay, well then that's gonna end out our session here. Thanks everybody for playing, and y'all that are in the chat, thanks for watching there too. See you next week.
Bye.
Good night, everyone.
Ah.